Today I'm going to start with NYX's Angel Veil Skin Perfecting Primer. It says, treat your skin to this ultra velvety oil-free primer, feels lighter than a cloud, and leaves skin looking and feeling divine. So I've got some of this, and then I'm going to put it in the areas that I need the most help, as far as this is going to be a more mattifying primer. Can you tell the difference? Maybe not yet, but hopefully it'll keep me mattified just a little bit during the day. I'm about to work a full day shift at the hospital, so we'll see how it looks at the end of the day. So for foundation today, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in Shell Ivory. Now this comes in a bottle like this, and it's got like a little paddle. So what I do is I just, whatever's on the paddle, the first dip, I kind of just put on one side of my face. To blend this in, I'm going to use a Real Technique sponge. Looks like this. Of course, as you can tell, because it's kind of dirty, I use this end for the most part. And this is just as good as a beauty blender to me. I've used beauty blenders before. My dogs have eaten the beauty blenders, so I bought these again. These are only $10 for a pack of 2. Make sure that whenever you use these, you wet them. They should be kind of squishy. You don't want water dripping out of it. I definitely squeeze all the excess water out. But it makes a huge difference to make sure that these are damp. Okay, so this is one half of my face done already. Now I'm fixing to go ahead and do the other half. Now, I didn't mention this before, but this foundation is like $5. You can get it at Walmart, you can get it at Walgreens. I want to say you can get it at CVS too. Comes in a ton of colors. This color I picked out matched me first go round, but had it not, I would have had options and not felt in a financial bind if I had wanted to go back and try some more colors. This is one layer with the Wet n Wild Studio Finish Foundation. I think I am going to go in with a second layer just because I have some redness poking through. Not that it's bad, but I just have a little bit of redness poking through, so I'm just going to do one more layer. This acts a lot like the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. The consistency, the wear time, the smell almost kind of a little bit smells the same. It's not a bad smell, but, you know, makeup has smells. The more blending you do, the better and more airbrushed that your makeup's going to look. So you almost can't blend too much. However, I'm on a time crunch because I do have to go to work today, like right after this. So we're going to keep going. Now on to concealer. So the concealer I have today is the Milani Retouch and Erase Light Lifting Concealer. It comes in a little, has like an applicator at the end, but I don't feel like that's super sanitary. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some on my finger, and then I just tap it out from there. You can just put makeup on with your fingers if you want to. Certain things actually do better. Stuff like concealer, where the warmth of your finger actually helps to get it into your skin really well. Don't get me wrong, I still use brushes or beauty blender sometimes, but whenever the moment takes me, I just use my finger. Okay, so I have most of it blended in already, so I'm going to go back in with my Real Techniques blender, and I'm going to just lightly tap so that if there's any excess, it's kind of picking it up a little bit too. And actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and highlight my face with some more concealer. Now, this is also from the drugstore. This is the Maybelline SuperStay Better Skin Camo Flaunt and Corrector. This is in the color Ivory 10. like this. I really like it. It has a doe foot applicator on it. And then I'm just going to wipe a little bit off because we don't need all of it. My chin. If you tend to have some darkness around your lips, you can kind of go right there. Believe it or not, I actually have some Indian in me, and you can't even tell. My mom looks like Pocahontas. My dad's just real white, I guess, and it just overtook my body because I cannot get a tan to save my life. So jealous. My mom seriously can walk outside for 5 minutes and she has a tan line. I'm like, dang it. So now I'm done with concealer. I'm done with foundation. I'm going to put a powder on. So I'm going to set my face with Cody Airspun. It's my favorite from the drugstore. I already have it out. I already have it tapped out into the cap. It looks like this. It's a pretty big thing of it. And I want to tell you, I think that my grandma has been using this since 1936. Because I swear as soon as I opened it, it's got an intense grandma smell. Which is not a bad thing. But if you're sensitive to smells, you may not like it. I don't feel like the smell sticks with you the rest of the day or anything. But initially it does have a strong scent. So I don't have drugstore brushes per se. But I am going to use some brushes that I got and did not pay full price for them. I'm going to use this large powder brush, and I'm just going to kind of tap it in the cap where I have some powder already. And I have a little line in my crease, so I'm just going to kind of tap that out first. All gone. So now we're just going to tap this under our eye, and it's just going to set it so it won't move. This also, not only does it set, but it also kind of helps with oil control. So if you tend to get oily in certain parts of your face, set it. So I'm not a super oily person, but if I am to get oily, I get oily in my T-zone. And as you can see, I'm tapping instead of like buffing. Mainly because I don't want to move any of the concealer. I don't want to move any of the foundation. I want it to stay in place, but I do want it to set with that powder. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to contour and bronze my face. So, like I said, I don't have a ton of drugstore brushes, but I do have this Morphe Y8, which is very, very drugstore comparable in price. So I'm going to use Makeup Geek's Breakup in Cool Porcelain contour. Makeup Geek, super affordable. You can only buy it online. But I want to say that this was maybe $10, and it's a decent size pan. Okay, so for my contour, I'm going to go right in the hollows of my cheeks. So, and I'm just going to tap again. You see that? I'm going to keep my contour, try not to go past the outside of my eyebrow. So I'm just going to keep that back there. And then this is what we have without. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the other side. You always want to tap off extra or it's going to get muddy. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bronzer brush. And this actually is a drugstore brush. This is an Ecotools brush. I use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. However, the packaging in that is so bulky. Like, this is the difference in size of what, like, you're actually using from this big old packaging. This. So, I depot it and put it in a Z palette. Works just as good. Actually smells really good whenever I open my Z palette up because it smells like summer. It smells like coconut. So, I'm just going to take this. I'm going to kind of swirl it in it. I'm going to knock off some of its excess. And very lightly, I bring it down a little bit further, almost like I'm doing like exaggerated blush. So, kind of blends your contour a little bit. This is a warmer color, where the contour was more of a gray toned. This is a warmer color. So I'm going to take a little bit around the edges of my face too, just to warm up this very pale skin. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on blush. The blush I'm using today is the Milani Baked Blush in Dolce Pink. I really like this blush. It's a pinky corally blush. It's got gold glitter in it. It reminds me of NARS Orgasm blush, but the glitter is pretty prominent. However, if you just swirl your brush in it, I mean like, get in there, and then you intensely you are knocking out basically all the glitter. And so you only get that beautiful pink corally color left. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pounce, and then I'm going to swipe, and then I'm going to pounce, and then I'm going to swipe, and I'm just kind of wipe over my apples of my cheeks for a little bit. For some people it works, but for other people you can't just put blush on the apples of your cheeks. You've got to bring it back. Can tend to make your cheeks look really, really round. Mine are already really, really round, so I don't need a ton of help with that. But if you want a more like look, you kind of want to keep it coming back. So I'm going to do the same thing with the other side, where I just get into it, knowing that there's going to be a lot of glitter, and then tapping it off. What it is, the glitter is a little bit heavier, so whenever you're tapping, it's going to come off, and the powder itself will stay on your brush. Also, you're not getting such an intense stripe, especially when you're pouncing too. You're just getting a very light flush. Okay, for my eyes, I'm going to use the Maybelline Expert Wear in Lavender Smokes. It's had some use to it. I actually bought this for everybody at my wedding so that we would all be the same eye looks. I did purple and gray. Shocker. So I'm just going to take kind of a fluffy brush and use the base color in this and put it all over my eye. It's telling me that this is going to be the crease color. That's a touch dark for me. I'm going to use this color that they meant for the eyeliner because it actually looks a little bit lighter than the crease color. And that's what I'm going to use in my crease. I'm going to kind of take it a little bit under my eye too. Okay, so what I have next is a lid color from them. But this is what I'm going to put all over my lid, and I'm actually going to put it on with my finger. Okay, I'm going to go back in and just clean up the edges. Okay, so now that I have my eyeshadow on, I'm going to put on eyeliner. And so I have the Physicians Formula Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Liner and Serum in black. Okay, so this is as close as they're going to get today. I've got to go to work. So for my mascara, I've just been using the Voluminous Million Lashes XS by L'Oreal. That's what I've been using. I really like it. I feel like it keeps my eyelashes separated. I do feel like it flakes during the day sometimes, but I easily just kind of wipe that away, and then it's done. I go on top, and then I go on bottom. Do you see that? Ah! We'll let it dry, and then we'll scrape it off when it dries. It'll be fine. So this is what the eyes look like. What you think? Okay, so with the Q-tip, gone. Boom. I'm going to take my beauty blender that is still damp. I'm just going to kind of press it in right there. See? All done. Okay, so I'm going to set my face with the NYX Dewy Finish Long Lasting Setting Spray. You can get this from Ulta. I think they sell it at CVS now too. Okay, so when that's done, we're going to add some highlight. This is the Physicians Formula Natural Nude Stripe Highlight box square thing. It's really pretty. You can use them as eyeshadows or you can use them as highlight. I like to use them as highlight. Of course, I use the top 2 rows. I'm just going to take this Luxie brush that I got in a BoxyCharm, and I'm going to stay in these. Let's stay in this row. I'm going to tap it off, and then tap, and then I'll sweep a little. So pretty. I'm going to stay here back, because the further you take it to your cheek, the more my pores are more evident on my cheeks, and so the more it will bring out your pores. That's like really, really bright for a, I'm going to bring it up here too, for a highlighter from the drugstore. Boom. I really like my nose done. My lips today, I'm going to use the Maybelline SuperStay 14-Hour Lipstick in the color Infinite Iris. What do you think? I love this look. Of course, my favorite color is purple, so I'm really glad I got to use purple on my eyelids. All of these drugstore products really do perform amazing. I'm going to actually see you again when I get off work and let you see how it looks afterwards. So I'll check back in with you in about 9 hours. Okay, it's the end of the day. I've had this makeup on since about 8:45 this morning. I had to be at work at 9:30. I left about 9. So 8:45 we'll say is when I started wearing the makeup. It is now 6:48 in the afternoon. And I feel like the makeup looks really good. The foundation held up really well. Obviously, my lipstick did not stay on, but I ate, drank, and be working all day. I'm going to try to scoot you in closer and let you see kind of around my nose some, because that's really the only place that this started to break down a little bit. I don't know if you can see, but about right here, and here, there's just some creasing on my nose, and then obviously it's like rubbed off on the bottom of my nose. But I blew my nose a few times today. I have horrible allergies, so I blow my nose all the time. So I always have that problem pretty much. But otherwise, like, this is just insane. It's beautiful coverage. My bronzer, my blush, everything's held up really well on it. My highlight has stayed on really well. So overall, I'm very happy with all the products that I used today. If you have any suggestions of other drugstore products that may work for me or may work for anybody else watching, please leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell down below. It'll tell you every time I upload a new video, and I'd love for you to watch them.